The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the Great Escape from the homelands, where our kingdoms were ravaged by the plague. Leading people to Avalon, he started the Age of Conquest and took the island from the Four-Dwellers. Using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleansed the land of the Weirdness, a primordial force of chaos and possibility. But now, long after the death of the king, Camelot is in shambles as Avalon fractures into chaos. Old legends are gone, and the Weirdness is creeping back into our lands. The bleeding heart of the plague has started beating once more, and the Red Death has returned. Rulers of the island asylum, an order of the Red Priests, are desperate to stop it by any means necessary. Rotting in one of their cells is a stranger who might bring a spark of change to this cursed island stuck in everlasting autumn.
I've been waiting a long time for someone to find me. Are you here to help me leave this place? I wish I could answer. I cannot remember. I know I am not complete. I remember I once knew who I was at some point, but I do not anymore. I just am. I do not know. I think it is some kind of prison, deep in the weirdness. And you? Why are you here? Are men here? That would explain the weirdness surrounding us. But walk with me. Let's find out together, now that I'm free. I remember arriving on the shores of Avalon. That was the beginning of everything. But there were doubts and questions. How does it feel to leave your homeland behind? To keep moving forward, even though every step takes you into the unknown? The Four-Dwellers quickly made it clear to us. If we wanted to call this place home, we'd have to fight for it, down to the last drop of blood. In the end, we won the war. Merlin stole the sacred flame of the Four-Dwellers and ignited the Menhirs, driving away the mist and clearing the nights of weirdness. It was the first time we uncovered the secrets hidden within the Menhirs. Still, the land of Avalon honored our toil. It soaked up our sweat, our suffering, and our blood. In time, it rewarded us. Here in Avalon, we were given the chance to create great things. Camelot, the eternal castle, the capital of all humankind, was meant to be a symbol of that. We left the homelands to survive. The plague had consumed everything we once knew. We thought we'd escaped it, but the Red Death returned like a specter to haunt us. Once again, it began to devour our home.
I am his hunger, the craving for what was beyond reach. I am the price paid for touching the unreal.
Yes, I can see through the mist, but it's still all so unclear. I've dreamt of countless deaths for such a long time. Yes, it's time to wake. Pendragon. I led humans to Avalon shores. I built the great halls of Camelot. Thank you for bringing me here. I believe I owe you, young one. It may not seem like it at times, but one always has a choice. Even if it's as simple as pushing onwards when others might back down. You brought me back. This is what matters, and for that, I am grateful. But now, let us leave this place and head to Avalon. I need to see my kingdom again. I trust you'll accompany me, or would you rather stay in this wretched place? I am not sure. Yet I learned to be grateful of fortunate outcomes, even if they come unexpected. It seems to be a place located between life and death. Or maybe a place that can defy death. But why was it created? By whom and when? These I'm unable to answer. Trust me, I wish I knew. I remember death, then darkness, a terrible loneliness, ages upon ages of solitude, and these are all the details I have. Perhaps, in time, I'll remember more. But that's enough questions for now. Let us walk together and see the kingdom forged so long ago. After years of struggle, my people in Avalon finally live in peace and prosperity. I must see the legacy of the Age of Conquest with my own eyes. My Camelot in all its glory. What is happening? No! I see now. I am not whole. You have only freed a part of me. I'm not strong enough. For now, I will have to journey by your side. Until my strength returns. I'll see the world through your eyes. In return, I'll lend you what strength I have. Like it or not, fate has bound us together. Best to make the most of it. I think you'll find I can be quite helpful, and judging by the look of your skin, and by the cured tone of your hands, I've helped you out already. Seeing my legacy through the eyes of another, a true picture of Avalon, not one crafted specifically for the king, may prove to be an interesting experience. Oh, what an adventure this will be.
He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dreamer who glimpsed the shape of what could be.
Who dares disturb my peace? You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers. The enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness, and in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this. I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
I am his oath, the weight of duty that shields the faithful. I am the wall between order and ruin.
You can't just allow for things like that to happen. Not ever again. Not when the kingdom is beginning to find its way. You're the king, and that comes with a whole lot more responsibility. You can't let people like Merlin do what they want, even if their intentions are pure. You must see the danger now!
The memory of Seawall is my burden. Harder to bear than I'd like to admit. But I've realized that his story is what happens when power answers to no one.
Then do something so that a tragedy like that never happens again!
Palamedes, you've always spoken your mind, even when I didn't want to hear it. You've stood beside me through the darkest days and fought not for glory, but for Avalon and its people.
I have done only what I believe was right, nothing more.
Yes, and that made me realize that Merlin was wrong. The legacy I leave won't endure through the legend of a single man, whether it's me or anyone else. I decided to give my sword to the Horns of the South, to bind them not to me, but to the people. But Avalon needs more than that. It needs structures, memory, and resistance to corruption. It needs the foundation of something greater than any one of us.
A shield?
Yes. One to guard Avalon, even from itself. You've proven yourself time and again, so my shield is yours, Palamedes. Not just to wield, but to become. Let your bloodline anchor what my reign could not.
And you believe I am worthy of such a responsibility? I will not fail you, my king.
Don't carry this burden for me, Palamedes. You never have. Carry it for Avalon, and may your name be a blessing upon this land for generations to come. Now I understand. The shield isn't an object. It's the bloodline itself. But I also remember the shield was meant to resist. Not enemies, not blades, but corruption, compromise, cowardice. Palamedes understood that. Nothing I've seen here reminds me of him. Nothing resembles the kingdom we were trying to build. Lord Yvain, a joke of a man. A mere shadow of his ancestor. Not worthy of his title, nor of leading his people. I tried to build something lasting. Something that wouldn't depend on me to survive. I distributed power, tied it to oaths, not blood. Gave regions autonomy, left behind symbols to bind them. But what we've seen so far, that's not a kingdom. That's theater. People playing at being lords and commanders, taking on roles they don't even understand. All I've seen here is fear. Indecisive men wearing the mask of power. But their power comes from symbols they don't even understand. And when a decision needs to be made, they hesitate. When danger appears, they flinch. Denholm, commander of Camelot's forces, is incapable of acting without direct orders. Yvain, a descendant of Palamedes, yet too weak to stand against choices that harm his people. Their fear breeds indecision. If you cannot choose, you cannot protect. And if you cannot protect, Avalon rots. It was you the men here responded to, and you who rekindled it. You did all the work, turned the situation into something Yvain could exploit. Without that, Kuanacht would still be waiting. For what? A miracle? That's why I have to come back. Without us, without hands that act, this land just waits and rots. Merlin wanted me to become a symbol. But I realized that one person, one myth, won't be enough. This kingdom needed more. It needed to stand on stronger foundations. And so, I left mementos behind, to serve as cornerstones for various facets of the kingdom. It seems we were both wrong about this. Yes, the situation is complex. But that is precisely the burden of a leader. Complexity does not excuse paralysis, and yet they sit in deadlock, doing nothing, while the world around them fractures. Turn every resource toward understanding why the weirdness is returning and stopping it. Hiding in Camelot is cowardice. Staying here? Stupidity. But what I would do doesn't matter. This is precisely why Palamedes was made Avalon's shield. To judge for himself what serves the people. Even if it meant standing against me. We gave our people peace, but they've come to take it for granted. Perhaps those who live without struggle grow soft, and in comfort, they let go of their values. Symbols, without the will to uphold them, are little more than ornament. I named his bloodline the Shield of Kuanacht, and granted them dominion over this menhir, with full autonomy. The land here is among the richest in Avalon. This place was meant to stand as a counterweight to Camelot's rising power. Well, my friend, they still call me the once and future king. Still hold feasts in my name. Feasts won't save them, but action might. We've wasted enough time. Let's move to the Forlorn Swords and find my crown. Let's make me whole. It's the last hope for this wretched kingdom of ruin.
I have watched your journey, Walker in the Weirdness. I saw how you helped the Lost Thoid children face their burdens. The weight that kept them from entering this chamber. For that, you have my gratitude. But I know you have your own purpose. Now tell me what it is. So you have chosen to follow the voice of the tribes and his fading hope. Gerfan, a man who so desperately wished to be a unifier, who carries such a deep thirst for retribution, while I strengthened my bonds with the human children of the Thoid tribe. I learned much of his mission. He believes tradition can be a driving force, that some things must unfold as they always have. That is why he waits for Ingavi. But Ingavi's place is here, among us. And when her kin entered my chamber, the Thoid Elder's burden was lifted. She has no reason to remain in a world crumbling into ruin, all for the ambitions of one old man. Rebuilding old myths will not undo the inevitable. The past is a graveyard, Walker. If you keep chasing it, if you keep digging up what was buried long ago, you will find yourself in a grave before long.
Enough. There is no reasoning with the giant's stubborn nature. No matter what you say, she'll keep dragging you deeper into the labyrinth of her mind. That is why I ordered the giants to sleep. Their nature was unpredictable. They reveled in strange manipulations, willing to wager their own lives in primitive bets and frivolous games. And so, I speak. Whatever this one demands, grant it. That is the order of the king to whom you swore fealty.
I was wondering how long you would stay silent, letting the human whose body you stole speak for you. You have lasted surprisingly long. I suppose emptiness and oblivion have taught you some humility. Nevertheless, greetings, Arthur. I am glad I have finally dreamt of this moment. The moment I can tell you, face to face, that everything is your fault. Avalon is falling because you existed. Because you continue to exist. This is also the moment I accuse you of murdering my children. And the children of the other giants. Your human king got to know us well. When he ordered the giants to sleep, he knew that our children could not dream. Dreaming is something giants grow into with age. Having no choice but to obey, we left our children behind in the waking world. Alone, defenseless, condemned to the coldness of death. Quiestra, the child I once held in my arms, never dreamed with me. While I built layer upon layer of my dreaming, she was dying. But I had time. Enough time to dream of Sonder. A place and a state where death holds no power. There, I will dream, Quiestra. I will give shelter to the entire Thoid tribe, including Ingavi. I will not abandon any more children to the waking world.
I have made many terrible mistakes during my reign, but I always considered what was best for my people. At least, that was my intention. I wanted to make Avalon our home, free from the plague, free from forces that would seek to oppose us. I thought that my return would restore balance, that I could prevent Avalon's fall.
Your idea of what is good is twisted, human king. As for you, mortal, yes, you need the blessing of the tribes to claim the crown. Those were the terms of the sacred pact, but you will have to manage without the Thoid. They will all come with me into Sonder. I will care for them as if they were my own children. And I will save them from this world's corruption. Indeed, you have the right to make such a demand. The role you played in the fate of the Thoid grants you that authority. And Ingvi, she will accept the path laid before her without protest. Perhaps it is only fair that the last of her people remains awake. That some trace of the beautiful children of Thoid may endure until the end of time. Very well. So be it. The way to Sonder is closed to Elder Ingvi. Her duty now is to carry the legacy, tribe. Walker, although you carry fragments of the King's soul within you, the choices are yours to make. I entrust you with the blessing of my rune, hoping you will choose wisely. And you, Arthur, do not think you still command everything. You are a prisoner of your own legacy. It is done. Our long-dreamt of meeting has come to an end, and I am pleased with the outcome. Leave now, and let us dream.
I am his burden, the man beneath the myth. I am the face that time forgot, the name that was never enough.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit! You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
Oh, stop with your excuses already! You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. Even what you did to me. To Seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something. For a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything. There is no way to save it. I know. I see it now. And it was my decision that cost them the ability to grow and change. I may have been right about the diagnosis. Now I see I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. They were the most loyal of all. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were. And I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. And now he's only a shadow of the man I once knew. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. I come from the Pendragon bloodline, a heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita. A heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember, and unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Four Dwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it all. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. I thought I was forging a future. I was just extending the fall. Do what you want. There's nothing about this land that I recognize anymore. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother?
Through your sacrifice, the king returned, entire, unbroken, and ready to reclaim his throne. You held faith that Avalon's fate still turned with him, that one last rising could bring balance to the broken land. Now he rules again, and the world bends to the weight of your choice, for salvation or for ruin. You gave everything to restore the king, and your journey ended with his return. Closing your eyes upon the sight of Arthur's triumph, you felt no regret, only the certainty that your final choice had been the right one.